You're a 16-year-old fiddle player extraordinaire.
Oh, thank you.
That's what I read. Let's now introduce the band that you have playing called No Strings Attached, and the instruments they play, and give me a little history.
Right. I'm the fiddle player and the singer, and I also write our songs. We have Ben Ford on guitar, we have John Irvine on banjo and mando, and Chuck Boda on bass.
How long has the band been together?
Well, it's been together with a few different people throughout the years, but No Strings Attached has been together for about 4 years.
Where'd you get the name No Strings Attached? It's all string instruments.
It was my dad's name, so you could argue with him about that.
Right, I'll have to pull him in here one day and we'll talk about that. How did everybody meet? How did all the band members get together?
It was through an organization called the Fiddlers of the Genesee. I started playing in that when I was just starting out, when I was like 9 years old, in upstate New York where I come from. And I met a player named Jack Metzger there, and he just started to form the band out of members that he knew were really capable of producing good music. So these guys have been mentors to me.
Wow, that's nice. You always played bluegrass?
I've always done my own stuff, which is a little bit crossover-ish. But there's a little bit of country influence, more like the old time. I love Patsy Cline, those guys, and then bluegrass, of course. Yeah.
Where are you from? Upstate New York? What town?
Rochester, New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Kate Lee Live, your album that's out there now. I have a copy of it.
Yeah, I was told that we had the opportunity to play on a show called On Stage, and it was for WXXI.
Right.
And it was played all over our state, and it was just such a fun event. So yeah, we have some good bluegrass tunes on there, as well as some of my own.
Now the band that you were just introduced is placed behind you on stage?
Yes, yep, they're on that. Yep.
What songs are on there?
There's Beige, Are We There Yet? There's On Your Way. Blood on the Banjo is a fun one that I wrote.
What made you write that song?
Okay, well, there's a story about my banjo player who actually bought his banjo from a guy who was incarcerated and still is at the moment. And so he got it from his wife because he couldn't keep it in jail anymore because they thought it could be used as a weapon. And as we know, banjos can be used that way. So they took it away from him, and John got it. And then a few days later, he got a call from the guy saying, "I want my banjo back." And John's like, "Well, I really like this banjo. I don't want to give it back. Are you harmless? Are you gonna like hurt me for this?"
Yeah, right.
But he didn't seem to be harmful because John still got the banjo.
Okay. What other song did you write on that album?
Yeah, there's On Your Way. That's a song about me, growing up and eventually going on to college. Dad and I wrote that.
That's the name of your first CD?
Yes, it is. It's on both of those albums. And I actually got the pleasure to sing that in front of the Rochester Philharmonic Orchestra.
I read that too.
That was a really different experience, but very cool.
Now they're not so bluegrassy, huh?
Well, we're bringing them over.
Well, there you go. You're the one to convert them over, I think. All right. You've been competing for a while in voice, fiddle, violin, and songwriting.
Yes. I did a songwriting competition in New York, and I won out of the whole state, and I won 40 hours of free studio time.
Wow.
And out of that, I got to record one of my newest songs called Sarah Sing. So
I read that too.
That was just such an honor. And then vocal competitions, there have always been the NYSSMA competitions that they have around in New York. They're just vocal competitions, and you get to sing in a choir if you get chosen. But as far as like more bluegrassy, that competition that I did to play with the orchestra, I had to try out for that. And
wow.
And they were really surprised that they picked someone who wasn't classical, you know? But they really enjoyed that.
How about the Grandmaster Fiddle competition in Nashville? That had to be great.
That was so much fun. Everybody down there was just amazing fiddlers. And so since then, I've been really trying to work on and make my style really fiddle-ish because
Fiddle-ish? Never heard that word.
That's my own word.
There you go, fiddle-ish.
Because I started out classical music, and I still play classical. I love it. But there's something very like roots and something really nice about fiddle playing, and you have to really approach it from a different style. So I've really worked hard to get some of that in my playing.
I read a quote. "I know I always have to be different,
Yes.
Explain that.
And because at some point, yes, you do have to commit to a certain kind of music and to the integrity of that music, but you got to make yourself different from the other band that's up there, because there's got to be something that makes people want to see you.
Bingo. You're right. The original music is the holy grail of the music industry. That's a quote from you too.
Yeah,
That's a true statement.
I think it truly is, because I love singing and playing, but writing has gotten me so far, just because people want to hear, especially what comes out from a 16-year-old point of view.
Got
you know?
it. Talk to me about Alison Krauss. We're going to wrap up here in a few seconds.
Okay. I went to do a writer's night down in Nashville, and that was actually at the Commodore. I did one at the Bluebird Cafe as well. But at the Commodore, I was surprised when she walked in, and I thought that she had just coincidentally walked in there. But I found out that she had actually come to hear me sing and play.
Wow.
And she told me she loves my song, Sarah Sing. She loves that song. So,
And
there's about 1 million of her songs that I love.
No,
so.
of course. She don't do bad songs.
No, she doesn't.
No. You open shows for Rhonda, Nothing Fancy, Downger, and the Graskels, huh? Mm-hmm. What's the future here holding for Kate Lee?
I really want to keep doing music. You know, like I said, I still love classical music too, so I'm paralleling with both of what I love, but I want to always be doing music.
Whether bluegrass or classical, you just want to be music.
Exactly.
Well, thank you for being on the show, Kate Lee. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you very much. It's my
Thanks
pleasure.
for taking time here at the Wind Gap Bluegrass Festival.